Alright, problem 11. The graph of the derivative of f is shown in the figure above. Which of the following could be the graph of f? So we have the derivative of f shown here, and we want to find the graph of the original function down here. And so let's look at this derivative graph and see what it tells me. And what I see first off is when I'm up here, okay, back here, maybe around x is -4, I'm going to have a positive slope here, so it's sloping upwards. The derivative is positive, the slope of the derivative isn't, but the derivative is positive, so the original graph has to be sloping upward. And as I get closer and closer to 2, you can see that it starts leveling off, so this should start curving back down until when I get to 2 and the derivative is 0, I get a horizontal tangent. So that happens at 2. Now, down here, I start sloping downward. The derivative becomes negative, so I start sloping downward. And as I get closer and closer to 0 here, it should get steeper and steeper negative. But then at 0, it starts getting less negative. The slope starts getting closer to being horizontal again, which happens right here at 2. And then after 2, so this happened at 2, after 2 you can see that the derivative is becoming positive, which means that my original function should start sloping up again. So I know that something like this will have to be the graph of f of x. I don't know where it starts. This graph here only tells me about slopes, but the slopes have to look like this. And so let's just go through our choices and see which ones are possible and which ones are not. So first, A, we can see that we start sloping down in A and then come back up when we were supposed to start sloping up and then come back down. Well, we know A can't be the correct one. In B, we start going down at a constant slope, we then go up at a constant slope, and we don't have any of these changing slopes like this sloping derivative tells me that I should, so we know B isn't my correct answer. C, it starts sloping up, that's fine, but it never evens off and starts sloping down here. So we don't have the changing slopes. We have a constant slope, which means my derivative should have been a horizontal line. That's not the case. Okay. Let's see. D, we have a horizontal line negative, a horizontal line positive. Now, D is actually the derivative of this derivative graph. It's in here to try to trick us a little bit, but it's not correct because you can see if the derivative is changing, the original graph has to curve because its slopes are changing. These are horizontal lines. Their slopes are 0 everywhere, so that's no good. And then E, if we look at this one, we can see it starts going positive, starts sloping upward, but evens off to a horizontal tangent at -2. Then it starts going negative and gets its steepest slope, steepest negative slope, when x is 0. Okay. And then it starts leveling off and gets back to a horizontal tangent where x is 2 right here. Everything matches up, so our answer is E.